Right. So today will be our last lesson. Hopefully, it will be our last lesson for reading classes, inshallah. And in this,
Yes.
we are just, doing some final touches, touches you can say. There are some parts which are missing still, and I'll try to cover those parts now. Now, in section three, we already know that the section three is longer and more difficult, right? And
Yes, sir.
this is the most difficult section in among all three sections. In this, you may find some arguments or some arguments in favor of or against some opinion or against some theory. Okay,
Yes, sir.
or there may be some
Okay,
journal
sir.
containing different arguments. In such kind of text, you must be familiar with the overall tone of the writer. That's very
Okay, sir.
important. And this tone can be actually observed from the choice of words writer is using. Okay. Now let me show you
Okay.
these words, and then we'll discuss certain aspects of those words. But can you tell me which of these words show a positive tone, and which of these words show a negative tone? Like diverse,
It's positive.
it's positive. Overall, it's positive. Diversity is generally taken as positive unless we talk about like because of the diversified nature of my subordinate, the management task became very difficult for me.
Okay. Okay, sir.
In that
Okay,
case,
sir.
diversification becomes a difficulty. But otherwise, diversification is a good thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Disastrous,
Negative.
negative,
Negative, sir.
very clear. Unspoiled,
And negative. Negative.
spoiled is negative. Spoiling something means damaging something. But
Okay.
unspoiled,
Unspoiled.
this is
It's positive.
undamaged. So that's a positive thing.
Okay.
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 Then biased.
Negative. Negative.
Okay, biased. Actually,
Yes.
it depends, right? Right. If
Okay,
I'm
sir.
saying there's some we are talking about some rule of law or some justice system. In that, if someone
Okay.
is giving a biased decision, then it will be a bad thing. Then
Okay.
it's a bad thing. But if I say it will, there are two theories about hard work. Some say that you will get whatever is written in your fate, while others think that no, you get your, whatever you get, it depends on the effort you make. And I'm
Yes,
biased
sir.
towards the second opinion. Here, I'm in favor of second opinion. That means, there's a positive thing about this one.
Yes, sir.
Got it? So sometimes
Yes, sir.
bias go positive as well. Then
Okay.
accomplished,
Positive, sir.
positive,
Post.
vulnerable.
Positive, sir.
Uh,
Negative.
if
Negative, sir.
most of the time it is negative because we say that you are vulnerable to so and so disease, okay, or
Okay, sir.
we are generally vulnerable to happenings around our our surroundings. So that means
Yes, sir.
we are susceptible to or we are open to some bad effect. Okay,
Okay, sir.
productive, productive. Always say positive thing.
Positive, sir.
Yeah. Then realistic, again positive.
Positive, sir.
Con-
Positive.
confusing, negative.
Negative.
Irrelevant, negative.
Negative. Negative, sir.
Negative. Sophisticated,
Negative. Negative, sir.
negative. If I tell you that this technology is really sophisticated, so it's a good thing. Yeah.
Sub-
Okay.
uh,
If I say that company is really high tech company and using a very sophisticated system of so and so thing. So what do you think? Is it positive or negative?
okay,
can be sophisticated maybe at the side of usage. It can be
Exactly.
negative, but at the side of quality, maybe is
Yeah, yeah,
positive.
it's a quality, right? Actually,
Okay, sir.
some people they think that well, if you are too sophisticated, then it means you are a poor person. You are not physically fit, right? But that is not the case. Sophistication generally comes to in positive, right? So then harsh.
Negative,
Negative.
sir.
Harsh is negative. Catastrophic.
Your voice is getting low from my side. I don't know.
Okay. How about
Sir,
this?
voice is not clear.
Is it clear now?
Okay.
Yes, sir. No
Okay.
clear, sir.
Okay. Catastrophic.
Negative.
Catastrophic. What does it mean, by the way? Sorry.
It's disaster.
Disaster. Yeah. So obviously that means it's negative.
Uh,
Efficient.
Okay, sir. Positive, sir.
Positive.
positive.
Monotonous. Monotonous. Yeah.
Negative.
Monotonous. Negative. Boring. No, monotonous means similar kind of thing, doing similar kind of thing, or similar kind of thing appearing again and again. That means boring. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Distorted.
Disorder.
Negative.
Negative.
Negative. Thorough.
Positive.
Positive.
Positive, sir.
Positive. Like thorough knowledge, thorough, analysis. Influential.
Positive,
Positive.
sir.
Yeah, positive. Except if it is used for, in a negative tone, like biased influences. Like he is quite an influential person, and he, if I say, he abuses his these qualities or his links.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Then prominent.
No.
Obviously, this is
Positive.
positive. Dated.
Negative.
Yeah, dated means outdated, means old. Okay. If I say this is an outdated technology, then it means
Okay, sir.
it's in
There,
yeah,
excuse me, sir.
yeah.
There is a background distraction. Am I the only one hearing this?
I'm the only one. Sorry.
I'm hearing a background distraction. Some
Okay, okay. Let me
distractions.
mute Shakil first.
Maybe.
Is it
Yes, it's
better now?
gone.
It's gone. Right. So
Yes.
it's Shakil's background noise.
Okay.
Shakil might be sitting in an hostel, right? If I'm not
No,
wrong.
sir.
No.
Sir, mute from my side, sir.
Okay.
My
Okay.
voice is sir mute.
No, I just muted it. Okay. Have you guys studied this
Acha,
passage?
okay, okay.
Have you
Okay,
guys
sir. Sorry.
studied this lesson? This passage, living with mice.
No,
Yes, sir.
sir.
No, Shakil didn't because you were not there in last class, and I forgot to
Yes, sir.
request Abdurrahman to please share the assignment. Okay. So,
Oh,
anyways,
okay, sir.
we'll study it. We'll read it one by one, like once we are going to answer some questions. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Let's read it maybe one paragraph at least, and we'll try to see which words indicate uh, some personal opinion or attitude. Generally, words which we can say the adjectives, they generally give some opinion. Like when I say it's a good thing, then it means it's an indicated my opinion. It's indicating my opinion that I'm thinking good about something. You're getting it? So adjectives generally tell you something about someone's opinion about something. Like living with mice, this M is capital. Otherwise, one may think that okay, apart from the spelling, one may think well, it's a discussion about the rats, but it's name of some person. Lafayette Park. So this name is generally French. This is a French tone. Lafayette Park is a group of modernist townhouses in the United States designed by the architect Mies van der Rohe. So this is obviously a French name. So he is an architect, and he has designed a neighborhood in which there are some townhouses designed by him. A few blocks east of downtown Detroit, like few blocks in the east of downtown Detroit. There are two words used for the downtown. One is downtown and other is city center. Both of them have the same meaning. And this is generally used to refer towards the central part of the city. Like in our region, we call it Sadr, right? Like Arabic word Sadr. I guess this is Arabic. So, anyways, like qalb of something.
Streets.
Yeah, in the center
Yeah.
of something, right? It sits Lafayette Park. Like now here, the word sits has been used. Sits means this is situated. Okay, Lafayette Park sits means it doesn't sit obviously physically, but this is as word is being used to show the location that this is situated. And what is illustrated an enclave of single and two-story modernist townhouses set amid a forest of locust trees. So this is about the location of this park. And this park, the Lafayette Park, is not actually a park. It's an enclave of single and two-story buildings. Okay. Then,
Okay.
like hundreds. Now, this line is very important. Like hundreds of developments nationwide, they were the result of post-war urban renewal. Now, this is pointing out towards something that this park was maybe this was built in or after Second World War. Maybe. Why?
Okay.
Because generally after that, this was a post-war. After the war, some urban renewal took place in America, and like many other changes or many other developments that took place, this park was also developed. So apparently, we can say that these modernist townhouses were built after the war as a part of the bigger scheme. Okay. Unlike almost
Okay.
all of them, it had a trio of world class. What do we mean by trio?
Trial is.
Three people, a group of three people, right? Generally, like if there are three researchers, I would say the trio concluded so and so thing. Okay. So now, what I want you to
Okay.
notice here, Amjad, Assalamu alaikum, welcome. You are here for last 5 minutes, maybe. Uh, I want your participation now. Welcome.
Sure.
Okay. Now, if I ask you, what was common? What was common uh, among these houses, or I can say, if I say the development of Lafayette Park and other developments. So what was the commonality? The commonality was that all of these developments, including Lafayette Park and other developments, they were part of a post-war urban renewal. Is that clear? What is the common
Yeah.
thing between Lafayette Park and other developments in the country or in the United States? So the commonality was that they were part of the same, post-war urban renewal. And if I say that what was the difference between Lafayette Park and other developments? The difference was like unlike almost all of them, this thing is indicating that now the feature which author is going to describe in the next line, this feature is distinctive to or unique to Lafayette Park only.
Okay.
Got it? Now, it had a
Okay.
trio of world-class designers behind it. There were three designers, world-class designers. Their names are written here. One was urban planner, and other was landscape designer, and this Mice was the architect about whom we are studying this article. Clear so far?
Okay.
So
Okay.
now let's move forward, and then I'll read remaining parts one by one. The remaining passage is about Lafayette Park. So now you know the background. Lafayette Park is an enclave of single and two-story buildings, and it's situated in the downtown, or few blocks east of the downtown Detroit city. Okay, and it was created by three main, or you can say, very distinctive or world class designers. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, now let's move forward and see what type of questions are waiting for us. Now, identifying the writer's views and claims. We have already seen true, false, and not given questions. Okay, but and there's another kind in which they ask you yes, no, not given questions. And these
Okay.
questions are actually based on views and claims. Now, what's the difference between true, false, and not given and this? In true, false questions, you are given a factual statement.
Okay.
Like 3 people did this thing. In January, temperature goes down, and so on. And you are asked that, well, is this statement true or false?
Okay.
Okay, but in case of yes, no, not given questions, you are given some views and claims. A view means
Okay.
a personal opinion. Okay,
Okay.
and a claim means a statement made by the writer and presented as a fact. These are two things. Like
Okay.
if I say it rains in summer, okay, now this thing has been presented to you as a fact. This is a claim then. It rains in summer.
Okay.
But if I say, in my opinion, it rains more in summer. So now, in my opinion, this is my view now. Or according to Amjad, it rains more in summer. So now, again, this is an opinion. I'm not narrating this thing as a fact. I'm narrating this thing as a view or as an opinion of someone. So in that case,
Okay.
you are asked that whether this is, is that the case? Yes, no, or not given. Okay, we'll see some examples. Before we see some examples of yes, no, or not given, let's have a look on some different forms of opinion and claims. If I say now here, sorry. If we read the first statement here, like hundreds of developments nationwide, they were the result of post-war urban renewal. Now, does this sentence in any way give you a hint that it is someone else's view? Can anyone tell me? What do you think?
Your voice is, excuse me, sir. Your voice is very low.
Very low? What about it now? Is it very loud now? No?
Sir, it's fine now.
It's fine?
Yes,
Okay, then I'll
from
have
sir.
to shout now, and all of my neighborhood will listen to this lesson at least. Okay,
No, it's okay now.
okay, like hundreds of developments nationwide, they were the result of post-war urban renewal. What do you think? Is it a fact? That means a claim, or it is someone's opinion? That means a view. Is it a view or claim?
I think it's clear.
It's claim because no word here indicates that, well, it is someone's personal opinion. This has been presented to us as a fact. So then it means it's a claim.
Okay.
Now, while much of Detroit began a steep decline soon after, Lafayette Park stayed afloat. That means, in Detroit, once Detroit was built, or maybe there were many other parts of Detroit, they started declining soon after their construction. But this Lafayette Park, it stayed afloat. It did not sunk. It did not sink actually. Okay, it stayed afloat. That means, people here they stayed there, and this part of the city it stayed populated. So then, what do you think? Is it a fact or again of someone's opinion?
Climb.
It's again a claim, right? Good, because this has been presented to us as a true fact. Now here from question statement number 3, Detroit has an abundance of beautiful housing options. Now, this beautiful word is subjective here now.
Okay.
Something that might be beautiful for me may not appear you as very attractive or beautiful,
Okay.
right? So this is a view. There's a kind of
We-
Austrian uniformity to the Lafayette Park townhouses when viewed from the outside. Again, someone may think that it's very uniform, but others may think, well, there are some minor differences in that. So this is again, someone's view.
Okay.
Similarly, indeed, the best design doesn't force a personality onto its residents. Uh, it's an opinion. This word indeed is telling us that this is an opinion. Like if I add a verb here, if you remember, we learned this thing in our writing lessons, that if you add words like probably, perhaps, indeed, that means this is your opinion. You are firm,
Yes.
you're firm about that opinion now. So again, this is a view. Okay, this is just a general idea. Although you may not be asked questions like that in exam, you will be asked the questions in a different way. Like here, you have to answer yes, no, or not given, and the formula for these kind of questions is same as we studied for true, false, and not given. And that formula was, first we will read the statement and we'll keep the native meaning in our minds, and then we will go and read the passage. In the passage, if we find any statement that confirms this thing, then it will be true. But if it does not
Mhm.
confirm, we don't find anything that confirm this statement, then we will see if there is anything that contradicts or opposes or negates this statement. Okay, if we find such statement, such an evidence that this statement is being negated, then obviously this is false, and in this case it is no. And if this statement is neither confirmed or nor negated, then it means it's not given statement, right?
Okay.
Now, who would answer this thing? It is the era in which Lafayette Park was developed that makes it special. I have elaborated on this part actually already.
I think is okay. It's not.
It's no. Okay. What about you, Amjad? You haven't read the paragraph, and Doctor, welcome. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you haven't read the passage as well. Doctor is
Yes, sir. Walaikum assalam.
okay. So now, let me tell you. You have to find the answer and tell me: is it yes, no, or not given statement? Please have a look on this statement. Keep a native meaning in mind, and then I'll move on to the passage, and then I will ask you, what do you think? Okay.
Okay.
Shall I move on? It is the era in
Yes,
which
sir.
Lafayette Park was developed that makes it special. So I'm moving forward now. Sorry. So who will tell me? The answer is written here in these few lines, in this paragraph, this one. An easy way is that you first keep the native meaning in your mind. And what was that? If I put it very simple, not in native at least, but if I put it in simple way, well, it is the time that matters. It is the time at which this Lafayette Park was constructed that make it special. Okay, doctor, no, I've just seen your message. We will have class at 9 p.m. Delhi. Okay,
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Amjad, who will give me the answer? Abdurrahman has already told me that it's no.
Not yes. I'm just confused about no and not given. So just figuring out.
Okay, it's no actually. Why?
Yes.
Look, I
Because
highlighted this
there is
point.
no
I highlighted this point.
statement.
that like hundred of developments nationwide, this was the result of post-war urban renewal. That means, like many other things that took place at that time was post-war, after the war. So this time
Okay.
doesn't make it special. This is, all other developments took place in that time. So that time doesn't make it special. What makes it special or unique? That is written here. Unlike almost all of them, it had a trio of world-class designers behind it. This thing is unique quality of Lafayette Park. The time during which it was built is not at all its uniqueness, because it is very clearly written like hundreds of developments nationwide. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Amjad agreed?
Agreed, sir.
Doctor agreed? Silent.
Uh,
Okay, you are
yes, sir.
still not settled. Try to settle down as early as possible. Okay. Now, since 1962, many people have moved away from Detroit. Since 1962, many people have moved away from Detroit. So we have to see, and for that we will read the next part of the passage. Okay, where's that passage? Oh, here. Uh-huh. So now the townhouses were built in during this time, on land that was previously occupied by working class neighborhood. People who used to live here were working class previously, but later on, these single and two-story townhouses were built at that place. While much of Detroit began a steep decline soon after, like just after 1962 or maybe 1958, the remaining part of the Detroit city started moving down. And by moving down, it doesn't mean that the landscape was going down. It means that overall that society was going down in terms of maybe its number of residents, or in terms of worth of the property, in terms of maybe business over there. So other areas were going down, but Lafayette Park stayed afloat. Okay, that means Lafayette Park. Uh, my voice is echoing. I'm not sure. I'm muting you all actually. To answer me, or to, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself, and then you can shoot your questions, or you can answer me whenever I ask you a question. So now, its residents bucking the trend of suburban flight. What does it mean? Anyone? This sentence is very critical, very
They're
important.
shifting to the suburban
Suburban area.
areas. Suburbs.
Exactly. Well done. Well done. So, and what do we mean here by bucking?
In moving, or like you can say trend lifetime is increasing.
No, no, no. Okay. Now, first of all, before I ask you, can you tell me uh, if this sentence, its residents bucking the trend of suburban flight, is it about Lafayette Park, or is it about much of the remaining part of the Detroit?
Sir, it's about Lafayette Park.
Okay, it's about Lafayette Park, right?
Sorry, it's about actually Detroit. No,
Sorry?
because the sentence actually begins from telling us about the Detroit.
Right. Oh, now I will just remove these hints, these my drawings, and then I will explain. While much of Detroit began a scheme behind this, Lafayette Park stayed afloat, and its residents, you can say, and its residents bucking the trend Bucking means resisting
Okay.
the trend of suburban flight. Okay. So based now I'm just cleaning it, and based on this uh, this thing, can you tell me that since 1962, many people have moved away from Detroit? Can you tell me?
No.
No? Very right. Now I go back, and here I point it out. I want to point it out. While much of Detroit, actually this part, Detroit, its residents is related to this part. Okay? It's related to this part. Clear?
Clear.
Now, bucking is used in two meanings. Let me show you. It's two, actually in many meanings, but they are. If I say, if this is a heavy place, and I want to hold it, like if I say my backbone will buckle like this. It will just bend like this because of this pressure. So if I'm supporting this pressure against this pressure, if there's a pillar, that is generally known as buck. And other meaning is buck up, like we say buck up. We encourage, okay, in a positive way, like encouraging. That means following, encouraging. Okay, is that clear? No. Hello, are you guys there?
We've kept them all.
Yes, clear.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
sorry, I muted them. Sorry. Okay, so now bucking the trend of suburban flight, that means uh, the residents of this place had been moving from that place to suburban areas. Now, when we say suburban areas, it means it is related to the city. It is not related to the Lafayette Park, because Lafayette Park, people are in the center of the town. Lafayette Park is situated somewhere in the center of the town. Okay, now if this is Detroit and this is Lafayette Park, it is saying that people of other areas, they were, moving in the suburban areas. Clear? No, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
All clear.
so since 1962, many people have moved away from Detroit. This was about Detroit. So now, what do you think? Is it yes or no?
No.
Why? This sentence is clearly saying that its residents means Detroit resident. It encouraged the trend of suburban flight. No? We are talking about Detroit, Amjad.
Sir, actually,
Yes, sir.
actually, I firstly answered it right, but I think when you just explain the word two or three meanings of bucking,
Okay,
so
okay.
I have
Now
because you used as resist. So for that purpose, I said no.
I understand that. I understand that.
Yes, sir.
Let me
My answer.
okay. Let me check. Let me check again if I'm wrong or not. Okay, because there one is buckle and one is bucking. I guess. Uh, oh wow, my net is slow, or is it no? It is going to some other place. Okay, Buckingham Palace, UK. Buck meaning right. Here it is being used as a verb, right? So we have to see the meaning of verb here. Can you see this? To perform a buck or oppose or resist something oppressive. You getting it? Resisting.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And this is one meaning. But Generally, when we say buck up, then it means encouraging, right?
Right.
Okay. Here now let me show it. Sorry, this recording system. Oh my God, everything is open now. Right. Now, if you take it as there are two ways of considering it. One, if I say this is, bucking the trend, that means resisting the trend. If I take it as a resistance, resisting the trend of suburban flight, what does it mean? That there was a trend of suburban urban flight. Clear? There was a trend of
Right.
suburban flight in Detroit. But the Lafayette Park, the residents of the Lafayette Park bucked this trend. That means they resisted this trend. It means they didn't, moved or left Lafayette Park. They stayed there.
Yes.
But
Yes.
remaining part of the Detroit, there was a trend in remaining part of the Detroit. There was a trend that people were moving in the towards the suburban areas. Is that make clear now?
It's quite clear.
Okay, fine. Now let me move to. Let me show you the next question. Third question. My Swanderu designs influenced other architects in Detroit. My Swanderu designs influenced other architects in Detroit. Okay. Now, can you read this one, the third paragraph? Who will read it? Okay, Amjad.
Okay, sir. Uh, we wanted to know what residents think about this unique modernist environment created by a famous architect and how they confront and adapt it to meet their needs. During our research, we were struck by the casual attitude that many residents have toward the architecture. Then again, Detroit has an abundance of beautiful housing options. One can live in a huge Victorian mansion, a beautiful arts and crafts house, or a cavernous loft conversion space in a former factory. Living in a townhouse built by a renowned architect isn't as noteworthy as one might think. At the same time, such nonchalance is a mark of success. The homes are great because they work,
Mhm.
not because they come affixed with a famous name.
Now, who will explain me the meaning? That's a